Hi guys, and welcome to the Awakening Energy. This is going to be the beginning of hopefully a long series of podcasts. Why? Because first of all, this channel, we need to grow. It's not just about the simple sending energy transmissions. We need to get back in touch with ourselves. So we're going to be doing now on the channel, we're going to be doing on the YouTube channel, it's going to be a podcast. Once a week, we're going to have an energy session once a week and perhaps a guided meditation once a week. For Spotify channel, it's just going to be this podcast once a week. Mindfulness. What is mindfulness? Why does everyone talk about mindful? Why does everyone go to yoga practices? Why? What is all this spirituality about? Well, before we even get there, we have to understand where we're coming from. We are coming from a society that is so distant. We have so much distance from our true being, our true self, starting from obligatory education. Obligatory education, people think obligatory education was created to make people smart. Well, no, if you look at the history of obligatory education, it was actually designed to control the masses. It came about in a place that no longer exists called Prussia, and it was basically to crush a rebellion. And then they figured out, hang on a sec, if we've got our people's children, not only will they not be able to rebel against us because we've got them, we can actually take that time and program them, brainwash them, whatever you want to call it, into a way of thinking so they no longer rebel against us. And then we can actually make them do what we want them to do and work in a certain way so we at the top who've designed this can stay living how we're living and we can stay in power. That's what obligatory education was designed for. And then, of course, that moved to Germany and the Americans perfected it. They went and studied in Germany. But if we look at, for example, Rudolf Steiner was a very, very spiritual person, a very deep thinker. And he saw this problem, and this is why he actually designed his own method of schooling, Steiner schools, the Waldorf schools, because he could see that from the very beginning, things needed to be done differently. Steiner schools still do exist. Steiner, at the end, basically was killed because of his beliefs, and it more or less got squashed. So we still live in a society controlled by media, controlled by top layer controlling education. Now, I'm not saying they're bad, or I'm not talking about deep state. It's just a thing that has now evolved. This is to help society keep going. Okay, but what does it do? It creates worker ants that don't think, that don't like to learn about themselves. Basically, obligatory education turns you off. As soon as you finish schooling, people stop learning. So you have the education from when you were young, from your parents, if your parents were religious, from the religious programming, from the programming of your country, why your country is the best country, and it's not. No country is the best country. We shouldn't even have countries. We live on one planet. We should take care of our one planet together, help everybody together. Forget patriotism. Oh, but we need to protect where we work. Oh, but immigrants will come in and steal all our jobs. Well, the short term, immigrants will come in and do jobs that the people who live there don't want to do. They'll lift up society. They'll make that society richer. The people who can will then either want to stay there and control everything, or they'll say, hang on a sec, there's this other part of the world that has very little people. It has wonderful, beautiful beaches or attractions, or let's go live there. And then they'll go there, bit like the artist world, the surfer world. Surfers find a great beach with a great wave. It becomes popular. Then all the golfers come in and it develops. So it's a little bit like that. That is the way it would happen. There's absolutely no problem with taking down all the borders of everywhere, medium to long term. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about mindfulness. We're talking about us. We're talking about that's where the root of the problem comes from. What we really need to do is just get back to our essence. If you're really interested in getting back to your essence, whilst we're going to discuss these things here, your essence is your energy. To connect to your energy. If you're interested in going and connecting to your energy, I have a course. It is a huge, massive course. It's still being built, but there's already about 36 weeks of training within the course where we cover the 4 types of energy. It will help you to get in contact with yourself, and it will help you to be able to use this and help others on an energetic level. Now, I say 36 weeks. Some of the exercises that I have counted as a couple of days' work can actually, if you want to, they can take you months to develop. This is such a massive course. This should be a master's, a PhD type thing, because that's how long, if you really took and developed every single exercise, it could, if you really wanted to, spend years just developing yourself on this course. That's how much information there is in the course. We're talking about mindfulness. Now, one of the biggest problems with mindfulness is the actual word mindfulness. I've said before, it's not really talking about mindfulness, it's about talking about mindlessness. So if we really want to let go of all that programming, all that brainwashing, all the fake beliefs that we've been given because we've chosen to listen to someone else and take on their beliefs because they've convinced us of something, or perhaps because that was given to us before the age of 7, and so we didn't even have the time to question it. So they've become our core beliefs and religion. Why are children who grow up in Christian societies Christian, yet children who grow up in Hindu societies Hindu? Because those things are put into us at a very young age before we can question them. They become our core beliefs and we never question them again. But so how do we get rid of all this stuff? At its pure, simplistic form, I invite you to hell. Grab a cup of coffee, grab a cup of tea, grab a cup of cocoa, whatever you want, an orange juice, and just sit down with your cup of whatever and just feel your body. Many people say, go sit and meditate. And most people turn around and say, but I can't turn my mind off. How do I meditate? And so most people don't learn what meditation is because it's, well, just turn your mind off. Oh, this is again the secret to meditation. This is the secret to everything. The secret to getting back to you. Take your cup of coffee, take your cup of tea. Sit down 5-10 minutes. Close your eyes. As you have your cup of tea, your cup of coffee, your cup of cocoa in your hands, just take a few deep breaths. Take a sip of your coffee or whatever, whenever you feel like it. And just feel your body. Place your attention on feeling your body. Do you have any aches? Do you have any pains? What's your breathing like? If your breathing is fast and shallow, or just a belly, or just your chest. Slow it down, breathe in through your nose. Slowly, gently. It's not a... No, it's not about that. It's just change your rhythm. Breathe out through your mouth. If you can, each breath, slow your breathing down. If you could get to the point, you're not going to be able to do this today because especially in the Western society, we never learn about breathing. But if you could get to the point of being able to inhale, just inhale for 30 seconds, and then your exhale is about 40 seconds, that would be a good breath. Granted, you're probably not going to be able to do that today. Granted, by doing this practice for several months, every single morning, you might get to those lengths in several weeks, several months. Not important. Just breathe in through your nose, however long it is. Don't force it. Breathe out through your mouth. And connect and feel your body. Is there any tension anywhere? Is there tension in your mind? Is there tension in your jaw? Is there tension in your neck? Is there tension in the back? Just bring your awareness as you're sitting here. Do you have any tensions? If it's in your jaw, breathe in. Say, release my jaw. Release my jaw. You don't have to say it out loud. Or if it's your neck, or if it's your back, or I'm feeling very tense, I'm feeling very anxious, I've got a stressful day ahead of me. Don't fight it, just accept it. Know it's coming. Be okay with that. Let's go deeper. Once you've worked on those areas, and you've released the stresses and the tensions, just start to become aware of your full body. Take a sip of coffee as you do it, and just become aware of your full body. How are your little fingers feeling? How are your little toes feeling? How are your big toes feeling? What about the arches in your feet, and your ankles, and the backs of your knees, and your hips, and your genitals, your anus, your colon? How's my stomach feel? How do my intestines feel? Just everything globally. How do I feel? Breathing in, breathing out. Feeling everything at once. This is the key to what has been coined mindfulness. As I said, I like to call it mindlessness, because my mind is not engaged in thought in a mental process. I'm just training myself to feel. Right now, we're just feeling our physical bodies. So let's go a little bit deeper. How am I feeling on an emotional level? And we can actually connect parts of our body, aches and pains, to emotions. I have an ache in my knee. I have an ache in my thumb. I have an ache in my hip. If I concentrate and bring my awareness to that area, and I breathe in and out, and I let it release, does it spark any emotions in you? Happy ones, sad ones, tense ones, relaxing ones. Don't fight the emotions that come up. Just accept them. They're part of you. Society is so programmed to blame others. And it's a very useful thing for society, for everyone to blame others. Because it's a bit like the whole idea of this fake democracy that we have. Well, I give my power away by way of a vote. I get a say once every 4 years, 8 years, to choose a person that I don't know, who tells me they're going to do all these things and all these promises that I know they aren't going to do. And I'm going to let them dictate the laws, dictate the taxes for my country. For the place I live, I'm going to give away all that power because of my programming. And if I can do that with democracy, well, I can do it with my health. I give the power away to my fitness trainer, to my accountant, also health, to my doctor. And if something goes wrong, I'm going to blame them because I'm paying them to do it rather than taking responsibility for it's mine. I am delegating someone else to do it, but it's still mine to do. It's still my responsibility. Your food, what you eat. In many countries, people eat out more than they eat in. Therefore, you're not responsible for the ingredients that go in your food, all the additives, all the preservatives, just as the big food companies, instead of buying locally from a local producer. You give away your power by blaming others, by not taking responsibility. You give away your power to change. And that's what society wants. It doesn't want you to change because you are a worker ant. And by simply doing these things, we're in the first process here. Getting all the answers just by doing this. You're just taking the first steps. Just keep paying attention as you're hearing my voice to feeling your body, to feeling those emotions. Something arises. If you have an ache, if you have a pain and you can't release it just by breath, just give it a very gentle massage. We're not talking about stimulating pain, it's just a gentle massage. By doing that gentle massage, are any emotions released? Is anything else released in that area? If they are, embrace them, accept them, positive or negative, embrace them. Just let them be part of you. As you do this, have another sip of coffee. Or tea, or whatever you're having. And as we go a level deeper, under the emotions, we have our energy. It's a very subtle thing. The easiest layer of your energy to feel is around your skin. So bring your attention to your skin. How your clothes feel, whether you can feel a warm air, a cool air, a cold air, a boiling air, it doesn't matter. Just feel it, just accept it. And then bring your attention, whilst keeping your attention on your skin. Be aware that inside the skin, there are bones, there are muscles, there are nerves, there are veins, there are arteries, there are cells. When we combine all of these, we can become aware of sort of like a flow, a buzzing. And the more we focus on this, whether it's in our arms, whether it's our stomachs, in our chest, if it's in our whole body, you'll actually become aware that this buzzing doesn't stop at your skin. It actually goes to a point that's outside your skin. Now it could be half a centimeter, a couple of centimeters, quarter of an inch, half an inch, an inch. And for most people, it will literally be a question of millimeters, parts of an inch. quarter of an inch. It won't be any more than that because they're so in touch with this stuff. The more you get in contact with this, the more you pay attention to this exercise, the more this will grow, it'll get bigger. This can get to 30 or 40 meters away from you, this feeling. That's how big it can get. We're not trying to get there today. We're just trying to bring our awareness to the physical body, to the emotional body, to the energy body. And once we're fully connected, we will find our minds have no thoughts. We are not mindful, we are mindless. As you do this, you will find what we could say technically, your sympathetic nervous system is relaxing, you're turning into your parasympathetic nervous system. Or in a simple way, we're relaxing, we're calming down, we're becoming ourselves, we are connecting to our energy. Because our energy follows our emotions, and our emotions follow our thoughts. So whilst you're always thinking, blaming others, you can't do this as soon as you take pride in what you do. As soon as you start enjoying doing this practice daily. Talk about enjoying things. If you're enjoying this video and like what you hear, please subscribe to the channel. It will help this go to other people. It'll help the algorithm know that you've enjoyed the video, and it'll send it to more people so they can enjoy the video. Just this simple technique to get in contact with your energy so it can flow how it was designed to flow. Not controlled by your emotions and by your mind, which is controlled by your programming. Your mind is just a computer that has been programmed with external information over many years, your entire life, and it gives you results based on protecting you, your ego, rightly or wrongly. And that's what it does. It's just a computer. A very powerful computer, but a computer to keep you safe. Let go of that. The emotions can be released. The emotions can be released. You can come back to your core, to your essence, to feel your energy. Remember, if you like this and you want to take this so much deeper, as far as you want to take it, including to a professional level where you can use energy to help others. In the description, I have a link to my course, Professional Integral Energy Program. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you sit down. Best time to practice this, first thing in the morning, every morning, and then after work or in the evening. A couple of minutes a day, it's all it takes. Just by doing this can have very profound effects on you. Do it for 90 days. If you don't feel better after doing this, how I've mentioned it, for 90 days, come back and say, put a comment, I've done this for 90 days and it made absolutely no change. You won't be able to. And the only people that will be able to are the ones that didn't do it properly because they wanted to be able to prove me wrong, rather than get in contact with themselves, to be able to break down their beliefs, their programming, and come back to their core essence.